Welcome to Big Dawg Trucking. I'm your host, Charles Thomas.
Like a dog, he look like a dog, he look like a dog. Yeah, pass it to my dogs. I'm a dog, 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 I'm a dog.
Welcome to Big Dawg Trucking. I am your host, Charles Thomas, aka CT, aka Big C, and today we're going to talk about my intro into the trucking industry. So as I told you before, August 13th, 2019, my last day with Enterprise Rental Car. I had been with the company for 10 years. I had no clue what I was going to do after that, but I knew for the next 2 months that I was going to do absolutely nothing pertaining to work, and that's what I did. Took 2 months off, relaxed, not necessarily went anywhere, just relax, staycation. Sometime during those 2 months, I had a conversation with a friend of mine from high school named Gary. He was telling me about, he worked for Cox Communications, but he dove into this trucking industry a tad bit. He bought a few trucks, had some drivers. His cousin was a driver. Leased them on to a guy. Guy charged him 28%. He said, I put about 40 hours a year into the business, and I just sit back and collect money. And I was like, well, damn. From that conversation, I went to YouTube, the internet, Google. I was everywhere just taking in information. Because after that conversation, the flame in me was sparked, right? When I was really little, I used to always want to drive trucks. Then I got good at sports, and it was like, fuck trucks. And then I came out of sports and didn't even think about trucks. So it was like, wow, the flame inside me was burning. And so I started digging and diving and taking in all this information. And what I came up with is, I want to get into trucking, but I want to do it my way. I don't want to give 28% to someone else. I want all mine. So I'll try to figure out, how can I get into this industry, keep all the profits, and be successful? Everything that I read, listened to, watched, said, hey man, you're new to trucking, no experience, your first 2 years you need to work for a company. And in my mind, there's no way I'm going all over the freaking country working for a company to bring home $800 or $900, $10,000 a week. I just wasn't going to do it. So I knew I was leaving Enterprise. I had access to all my 401k. Mind you, I had been there 10 years. I was good to go. So I'm like, okay, let me pull this 401k money out, because I could do more with it investing in me than I could just watching it sit there and be locked into their retirement plan. So I had to figure out what to do. First thing I did, when I got my LLC, registered my business name, got situated, went to the FMCSA website, applied for my USDOT and MC numbers. Immediately my phone goes berserk. I'm getting blowed up by 1,000 different people, some misleading me, just trying to solicit in terms of their services related to me being a new authority. That was a little overwhelming. Be prepared, no problem. Got through that. So you got a 21-day vetting period once you apply for your authority before authority can be active. So I had already applied, got everything set up. Now let's go to school. So I had to figure out which school I wanted to go to. So boom, I decided on a school called Cat Law here in Austell, Georgia. I go to Cat Law, sign up, I'm in class. First day, second day actually, the trucking company started coming in, trying to get the new drivers to sign with the companies. And I hear the guy say, we reimburse for school, and if you're on the WIOA program, we'll still reimburse you. That stuck with me. I'm a really good listener. May not come off like that at all times, but I listen really well. And so we had a break, and I was talking to a guy in class. Hey man, what's the WIOA program this guy's talking about? He's like, yeah man, it's a federal grant, man. It's if you're not working or underemployed, they'll pay for your school. What? Mind you, I already paid my first down payment of like $700. I was gonna pay $4,000 for the school. So I asked him some information. He told me where to go. On that lunch break, I went about 20 minutes to the place, spoke to the lady. She sent me somewhere else. Anyway, this program in it is called the WIOA grant. It's through WorkSource Atlanta if you're in Atlanta. Otherwise, it's a federal grant, so every state has access to it. This grant was created to help minimize the surplus of the shortage of workers in specific fields. So trucking, like electrician, it's like 50 different things that you could utilize this grant to go to school for, and they pay for your school. So I immediately went back to the trucking school, told them, hey, I'm going to be going through the grant. You know, let's talk about my refund. They said, no problem. As soon as they cut us the check, we'll refund you. Fine. Went through school. As I was going through school, picked out a truck. Now the challenge was timing everything up. Timing up when I got out of school, with purchasing a truck, with starting the insurance policy, with being able to get on the road and make some money. Because what I did not want to do is have a truck, be paying a truck payment, be paying insurance, and I'm still in school trying to figure out how to get a damn CDL. So December 20th, bought the truck, started the insurance. December 26th, my authority went active. I took my first CDL test on December 28th and failed that bitch. And boy, I was disgusted. They told me it'd be 3 weeks before they could get me back in. I said, 3 weeks? It's gotta be something you can do faster. They end up calling me about 5 days later, got me in 7 days. I passed the second one, January the 12th, 2020. I ran my first load. And trust me, when I tell you, you're gonna wanna stick around and hear how that story went. This big dog trucking, man. Yeah, what up?